The reason why the entire law is based upon those two aspects right there is because if you truly love somebody, you won't hurt them. You won't sin against that person. You know, sin in its simplest form comes out of the Bible. That's a scripture. I'll reference the scripture. It says sin is the transgression of the law. It's just a transgression of some sort. When you hurt somebody else, you sinned against them. When you go against a commandment, that's technically a sin. These things are sins. So the entire basis of the law was built upon these two things, because if you truly love somebody, God doesn't necessarily care about your actions. Now, I'm not telling you to go and commit adultery, okay? Please don't take what I'm saying out of context. I'm not telling you to go and do these things, but those things are insignificant compared to the intentions. When Jesus came, the famous mountain on the Sermon on the Mount, the big famous one that, you know, took off Jesus's ministry, that was a huge sermon, because the entire Old Testament was based upon the physical, the flesh. You know, circumcision was nothing but of the flesh. Out of Romans, it talks about that us Gentiles, the people that are born again, have now been circumcised of the heart. That me and you, who are born again, who are believers, are technically the real Jews. A physical Jew, a Jew that was born out of the tribe of Israel and all those things, those technically aren't Jews. A person who is born again has now been circumcised of the heart. Circumcision was never supposed to be of the flesh. That was just a covenant that was to be done away eventually, as soon as the new covenant was to come into practice, as to come into effect. And let me show you this. Romans chapter 13, and I'm going to start in verse 7. It goes on to say, "Render therefore to all their dues, tribute to whom tribute is due,